From the best physics to the most insane graphics, here are 6 things you did not know about Bonelab. One thing about Boneworks is that it was locked onto one platform, that platform being PC VR, and you couldn't really buy it on Quest standalone. But there is one good thing about Bonelab. If you buy it on the Oculus store on PC, you actually get the game on the Quest as well. And the best thing about this all is that the graphics on the Quest aren't even that bad. As a matter of fact, they are very close to the PC VR graphic, with the only thing being that it's a little more blurry and less sharp. Of course, there are other graphical downgrades, but the experience really makes up for it. However, there's something that kind of sucks about all this. This thing really put me off once I found out about it. After pouring 2 hours into PC VR Bonelab, I found out that the game does not cross-save. So after getting to level 7 on PC VR, I realized that I have to restart when I play standalone Quest. But this means that I get to play anywhere I want, whether it's the hotel or at my friend's house. But also, I can play in any way that I want. Boneworks is known for being really moddable, with mods like a Superman mod, a multiplayer mod, and you can even be Luke Skywalker. The creators of Bonelab have made sure that making this game easily moddable is one of their most important concerns. However, there's a catch. The game just recently came out, which means that there are virtually no high quality mods out there for this game. Sure, you can find some mods like turning yourself into Spider-Man. However, you won't be able to find mods which completely change the gameplay and completely created by the community, simply because they just haven't had enough time to do it. But something that is life-changing that I'm about to tell you can literally save you money. If you check the Oculus store, every once in a while, you'll notice that there is a sale if you use the code Oculus30. Most of the time, I just ignore it because I'm just too broke to be buying games anyways, regardless of the price discount. It was the day of Bonelab's release, and I was having a hard time deciding whether or not to buy the game on Steam or to buy the game on the Oculus store. Eventually, I gave in and went to the Oculus PC store to go ahead and purchase the game. I went in, and when I clicked on the game, I found that they were promoting their discount. I quickly put in my card information and bought the game. However, I paid a different price. That price being a whole $28. That sounds so much better and safer than spending $40. Not only that, but I also got to have the game on 2 platforms, standalone Quest and on PC VR at the same time. But one thing that is the same across PC VR and on the Quest is the storyline. Every game needs a storyline, and Bonelab is no exception. Boneworks already had a storyline that, let's be real, most of us don't even know, but that didn't stop us from buying Bonelab, which is actually a continuation of Boneworks' storyline. But I'll get more into that later. Boneworks starts with you being the sacrifice of some random village at the beginning of the game. It's a really cool experience, and I don't want to spoil any part of the game to you guys, but that's where the story of the game begins. Remember when I said that this was a continuation of the storyline of Boneworks? They said, sentenced to death, you embody an outcast escaping fate. Discover a pathway to a hidden underground research facility. A series of challenging experiments and discoveries awaits. A road to the truth calls from the void. To the fans of Boneworks, this might as well be the most perfect VR game to ever exist. However, to the non-fans of Boneworks, this might be the worst game to ever exist. Recently, there have been talks about this game not being what people expected. People have been complaining about the very confusing storyline in the game and getting stuck right after the first chapter. Who knew that this game would be so hard? And can I be honest with you? I was also stuck at the very beginning of this game. But with one simple Google search, I was able to quickly get out of that situation. And I feel you. Sometimes you don't want outside help for a game, which makes total sense. Also, some people have been complaining about the motion sickness of this game. From jumping off of high places, driving go-karts, and riding roller coasters, there are really no comfort settings to make it more enjoyable. With all this negative talk, let's talk about something positive. Sometimes in VR, you don't even get a body, but in Bonelab, it's just a little bit different, but more on that later. Most games just completely skip having a body, just giving you a head, some arms, and some legs, assuming that you're some sort of ghost. But Bonelab approaches it in a different way. Their in-game body is more complex than anything I have ever seen before, especially be in a VR game. Let's start with the body settings. You can adjust your t-shirt size and your height, but if you click the advanced settings, there's a whole new world of complex settings. You can change your chest size, your waist size, your hip size, and so much more. The customization is so precise that if you touch anywhere on your body, you would feel it in real life and it would be aligned in game. Each body also has its own attributes. So if you pick a really big and heavy body, you will be slow but very strong. And if you pick more of a slender character, you will be weak but much faster. There are a numerous amount of character choices to pick from in this game. If you really want to play Bonelab with the best performance, this video is about the best Quest 2 settings you must turn off, not only to save battery life, but so much more.